Acres of green space in the heart of Vancouver.
Cadron!
I thought he was trying to
One
take
of
a
the
picture. You pressed
world's
the
most
whole button.
beautiful city parks.
You see that?
Oh wow.
It's not a man-made park. It's a natural forest. And like most forests, it's teeming with countless creatures, big and small. On this trip, we'll explore Vancouver's urban forest through some of the plants and animals that call Stanley Park home. Another word for home is habitat. And Stanley Park has a variety of habitats for plants and animals that live in wet climates known as rainforests. Stanley Park is a temperate rainforest. That means it's full of plants like ferns with long fan-like fronds and lots of trees that keep their needles all year round. These trees are called coniferous trees or conifers. Some of the oldest conifers in Stanley Park are firs, hemlocks, and cedar trees.
Are you recording?
Many of the trees in our park have stood for hundreds of years. Although, one day in December 2006, a massive storm tore through our park. Hurricane-force winds blew down more than 10,000 trees, including some large trees on your right.
Weeks for days.
Whether laying on the forest floor or standing tall, the trees that surround us are some of the biggest plants in our park.
Huh?
You still see something?
But we have lots of
Hold on.
small stuff too. Some of our small plants and organisms
Ew,
live
what
in
is that?
aquatic habitats, like
What
freshwater
is
ponds.
that?
If you look to the left,
Ew.
you'll see a green-looking pond. What
does not
makes
look
the
like a
pond
bear.
look green is a
Hey, two
microorganism
cameras at
called
once.
algae.
Hey, that's pretty
The
good.
pond is also home to amphibians, such as frogs and salamanders. Amphibians thrive in aquatic habitats because they're cold-blooded creatures. That means their body temperature is the same
That one.
temperature as the water or air around them.
Yeah.
As we leave the pond, we enter another habitat on the right-hand side. This is a meadow habitat. A meadow is a grassy, open area that's home to all kinds of flora and fauna.
Oh, I would have painted like grass. You know what I mean?
One animal often seen in our meadow is a barn swallow. Barn swallows are birds that like to nest in and around our sheds and barns. That way, their nests are protected from the weather.
I don't know, I'm just doing it because we're in
They catch
Canada.
insects like grasshoppers, crickets, and dragonflies.
Ew,
Barn
water.
swallows may be skilled hunters, but they're no match for the majestic bird that sits on a mound of rocks to your right. Bald eagles are Canada's largest bird of prey. With a wingspan more than 2 meters long, they fly as fast as 120 kilometers an hour. Scanning Stanley Park shoreline from above, they can even pluck salmon straight from the ocean. While eagles fly high during the day, at night, our park is turned over to nocturnal
What is that, a bird
creatures.
or a plane? No.
Nocturnal creatures are animals that are most active during the night, like rats, bats, and owls. There are lots of different nocturnal animals in our park, and many of them have large eyes to help them see in the dark. As we enter the darkened tunnel ahead, prepare to scan the tunnel walls for murals of your favorite nocturnal animals.
What's on that side? Good stuff?
Yeah, a bunch of trees. There's some good stuff.
Oh, okay.
Good. Most of them I've been capturing is trees. Really off those trees.
Okay. There's only two sides, not tree sides. Get it? Tree sides. That would be Illuminati. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Rules of darkness. Hey, those are rules of highlight, right?
Oh, looks like we're going to the dark side.
Outside.
Are you? Yeah. Is this supposed to be a cave?
And it's so long.
I see a door. Nice park.
As we leave the tunnel, daylight returns. Passing over the upcoming trestle bridge, we enter more wetlands. Wetland habitats are home to all kinds of interesting creatures, such as beavers and turtles.
Hey, look at
And
that.
to your right, you'll see a pond where our resident turtle lives. Turtles are some of the oldest reptiles in the world, having evolved millions of years ago.
That's a sculpture.
While lots of small animals live here now, Stanley Park was once full of large, warm-blooded mammals.
Water.
Last century,
Hey, Rick.
wolves,
What are you doing right now?
deer, and
What are you
bears would
doing?
hibernate in hollow trees.
Yes.
Cougars silently stalked their prey.
There's a real
Hey.
wolf right there.
But large creatures like these
Real wolf.
need to
Huh.
roam, forage, and
What is
hunt.
this?
They need huge forest habitats to survive.
That's a real one.
So, without endless
Wait,
forest,
what?
their
The good one.
numbers quickly
Me?
dwindled.
Yeah, I
At
know.
the start of the 20th century,
I'm getting all
very few
I'm on the
large
good
animals
side.
remained. The last cougar sighting in Stanley Park was in 1911.
1911?
While the park saw the last of its cougars more than 100 years ago, one
I know.
impressive mammal remains today. Humans. Humans are classified as mammals because we share many of the same characteristics, including being warm-blooded.
Because we have hair.
Being warm-blooded means we can live in almost every climate on Earth.
Yo, look at that
Are
bridge.
An important part of the natural
Walk
world
on that bridge.
because
I
our
dare you.
influence is felt far and wide. For thousands of years before Stanley Park even existed, the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations
I can take
lived on
pictures.
this land.
Whoa, you're recording.
The
Oh, okay.
land, its animals, and
Yeah, I can
plants
see that.
played a significant role in their daily lives. One tree that meant a lot to coastal First Nations was the Western Red Cedar tree. Some nations called the Western Red Cedar the Tree of Life. That's because this rot-resistant tree provided the best material to build their homes, canoes, clothing, artwork, and more. But First Nations people weren't the only ones who valued our trees. Between 1860 and 1880, loggers came to this forest too. Most of the trees they took were used to build houses. With more houses came more people, and Vancouver soon became Canada's third largest city. But logging by hand was a tough job. Some of the largest Douglas fir trees stood as tall as 100 meters, as high as some office buildings downtown.
Hand, huh?
And
I got a
those
hand
trees were heavy
because they
too.
had a
Some
lot of
of those fallen
dedication
trees
to
were
making this
so
place.
heavy, teams of horses had to move them. Sometimes a tree was just too big to move and was left where
Something.
it fell. Nowadays, many people are drawn to Stanley Park to see the beauty of our towering trees. Living trees are widely celebrated for providing the oxygen and shade we enjoy. But even fallen trees have purpose in a forest. Fallen trees are a great source of food, water, and shelter for all sorts of plants and animals.
Okay,
The Douglas squirrel is one
Slide
creature
to
that
the
loves
left.
fallen trees in their habitat.
slide to the right.
That's because they like to nest in old hollow trees and hide their food under stumps. These fallen trees also act like squirrel highways.
Yo, look, it's a
Stanley
Loch
Park
Ness
squirrels have
monster.
their own private network of squirrel highways to let them get from place to place quickly as they gather cones, fruits, and mushrooms.
Fruity. Ha.
And while our squirrels rush about hiding food for a harsh winter ahead, this forest continues to slowly change and grow. From the littlest drops of rain that replenishes our pond, to the wildlife biologists who study our plants and animals, the future of our urban forest unfolds in moments. Some moments go unnoticed by the human eye. Others are recorded in our history books. From the area's earliest recorded beginnings as a pristine forest full of wild predators and prey, to its role as the
Uh-oh, we're going
lifeblood
faster in
for
Sandix
thriving
now.
First Nations communities. From its history as a storied logging center to its official park status in 1888, our urban forest will forever evolve because forests like these are a complex community. A community of plants, animals, and people that live in delicate balance so we can all survive and thrive.
Isn't
in
that
this
called
special
a
place we
ecosystem?
call Stanley Park.
Or an ecosystem? I think it's over. Yo, we are really going faster than Santa now.
Yeah, so you can see a motor vehicle in the forest.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't see it. Oh. It's over.
Yeah.
Bye.